Live streaming is on.
Perfect. This is the goal. So the goal for the budget is this one $1,915. Right, based on our policy, we need to cut 20% for this month. So the 133 West budget.
Well, the policy is 10%, right? Are we at the 25% level? When does that start?
We are at 20% now.
Oh, but the policy was 10% for quarter one, right? And
Yes,
25% for quarter two, and then 50%
quarter three.
for three, and then 100%
75, then
for.
fourth quarter, and then 100% for the next year.
Yeah. So the question is, when does quarter two start?
Next month. This is the last month of the first quarter.
Okay. So we're technically the policy is 10%,
Technically, yes.
but the idea was to go 10, 15, and then this would be 20. So by the time we
20.
get to 25%,
Yes,
it's not as difficult.
exactly. Yeah. So we can have more options here. So then we have cut of 10% would be this times 0.1. Go 10%. It's this minus. Okay, so we have two goals then here. We can look at. So we have the goal with 20% would be 1,915, while 10% would be 2,154.55. So currently the 133 West is 1,988. So if we put here, so we would need to cut here for the 20% this minus this, and while for the 10% would be this minus this, right? But the problem obviously is now with that $375 from back pay benefits to upfront pay. Plus 300 plus 375. So in this case, we would have this one plus this one.
Okay, I don't know. We'll put it in like one of those Tupperwares or whatever.
Mistakes. This one. Okay, so then we would need to cut 208 if we want to meet the 10% policy,
Mhm.
or for 447, including the 375. Would need to cut 447 to reach the 20% cut, or 208 to meet the 10% cut.
Sounds good. So,
Yeah.
what do you want to do now? I mean, I would just work with the previous month's budget and then just like make a new option, but I don't know exactly.
Yeah, let's see what we can do. Yeah.
Or you
Looking
guys
the
could just
budget.
copy and paste the actual workers into the spreadsheet.
Okay. Trying to find. Let me just get the budget. Gonna get the budget. Budget here. Found it. All right. So I'm linking the budget here on line 21. And I'm gonna copy and paste. The numbers. Okay, here is good. So I'm going to line 24. Here it is. Delete all of this. Right. How much is decision makers? Well, decision makers currently at 116. 116. Okay, here we have all the.
Well, also, I wanted to check up Upwork and see what Abu Bakar said.
Yeah, I've been messaging with him on.
Oh,
I
you
don't know
did?
if you saw, yeah, I don't know if you saw the messages.
What did he say?
He on the decision maker, under recruitment communication, decision maker coordination. Says he was kind of difficult to get the details, but then he said he wanted just a good review, like a good score. If we could give him a good score.
So he is down.
He's
stepping down?
no.
Well, why would we give him a good score then?
I don't know. I if you can give him a good score, I don't know how this works. So
the way to give him a good score is to have, like, if he quits, that you score them at the end.
yeah, I don't know. I mean, because then once he said that, I said, I don't know what the protocol nor guidelines are for this. So then I brought you, Jay. Can you please advise? So do we want? I'm gonna ask him.
Still don't see it, which is really odd, especially if you're telling me. So what section is it in? Under HR board?
It's under the it's in the FQN community decision maker coordination under recruitment communication.
That is a problem. That is not where you communicate with decision makers. That's why I don't. That's why I never saw any of it, because why would you be communicating there with him? I mean, are you communicating to him as a decision maker, or are you communicating to him about recruitment or being a worker?
But I was communicating here about this Upwork because about this Upwork message that we noticed. So I said, "Hey, Abubakar, how are you? We noticed you sent a communication on Upwork. We're wondering if you could repeat that here. As for Upwork's follow-ups,
Yeah, that's
we
all.
have
Just
specific processes that needs to be prioritized.
yeah, that's just not what we should have done at all. That's not doesn't make any sense. It's not very professional.
No?
No, well, not at all. Like, let's say I sent you a message and you were like, "Oh, we didn't even bother going to look at your message. Could you just tell me separately?" So yeah, that's all policy tracking.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah,
never
I mean,
assigned to Abu Bakar about that, especially on the normal server. Like, it just doesn't make any sense.
okay.
Like, I was telling you that because we had follow up to do, and that we needed to make sure that we checked the Upwork messages. That's what
Yeah, I
I kept
mean,
saying.
I wanted to help him to if he wanted
Help them
to
do what?
if he needed an answer on that message. I mean, because I don't know when we would have done the follow
When
ups
we
on Upwork.
prioritize it, we would follow up when we prioritize it because we needed to do our communication. Like Upwork is just like any other communication method.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, you should have told me that you were trying to contact Abu Bakar, and I don't know why you would contact him in the main server. Just none of it makes any sense. It's all totally against policy and against our protocols. Like, and you were never assigned to do that.
Okay. I should have communicated with him on the I mean, I shouldn't have communicated with him on this at
No,
all.
you
But
never. Yeah, at all. There was no reason to communicate with him. We had nothing to communicate with him about.
Mhm.
Right? I didn't tell you to communicate with him at all. I told you to make sure that we check the message. That's all I said. So next
Yeah.
time in the future, it sounds like I shouldn't even tell you if there are messages. I don't know. It's just
No, I mean, yeah, okay. I'm gonna do voice tracking so I can learn from next time. 30 minutes for communicating. Decision makers. Communication channel. And then I'm gonna do 30 minutes for
we have 13 messages.
the first place. I did the policy track.
So it says he's requesting feedback, view details.
Mm-hmm.
A record this feedback on this contract. Give feedback. You don't have permission to access this act. I don't know. I mean, all it says is Abu Bakar is requesting feedback, view details.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've never even seen this before. I have no idea what it is. But it's like, for me, if I looked at this, I would just want to ignore it. We're not required to do anything. And it says you don't have permission to action to do it, but because you emailed him, it's like, I was worried that he canceled the contract or something. But now it just looks like he's asking for something I've never ever seen on Upwork before, and it doesn't even work. So I would prefer just to ignore this because it has no bearing on any of our policies.
Okay.
And now we can't ignore it because you already contacted him, right? And you already said you were going to do something for him or something. Let's see.
No, I said I don't know how this works based on our protocols and guidelines. So
Well, which is like, why would you ask the decision maker what the protocols and guidelines are regarding this? This is so weird.
No, I didn't. I didn't ask him. I asked you. I asked him. Okay, thank you for being more specific. I don't know what to do at this point because I don't know what's our protocols and guidelines or something like this on this kind of request is. And then I wrote you, Jake, can you please advise?
But it sounds like he didn't send a communication on Upwork. He sent some sort of request for feedback. Very odd. Let's try again, I guess. I don't know, because we clicked on the details here. I don't know. I think we should put it in a recruitment communications. I'm not sure where though. Not sure where it really fits in. How about just recruitment support?
Yeah.
All right, cool. I
Okay.
sent him a message on that.
Yes, bro.
But I don't know what else we can really do that. And then there's also these messages, like 12 messages still in here on Upwork. There's plenty of follow-up that needs to be dealt with all the, Upwork and other accounts that we have for our applications. All right, so where are we? The budget and everything?
Yeah. So I copied and pasted all the numbers here. So as you can see, we have the 375 that we would add here. Back pay benefits line 40. So we would add here 375, right? So this would bring the overall budget to 2,363. Yes, correct. So this means that we need to cut these numbers here. So if we want to get the goal of 20%, it's 447. Go 10%, 208.
Well, let's do the 10% first. So 208. We can do that with the bonuses, the reimbursements, and reimbursements. So if we just cut all of the bonuses and reimbursements for 1 month, then we would be good.
Yeah, we can do that. So if we put 0 here, Okay, we'll put 0 there. Let me see how this looks. So we need to. You can cut also all the fees for 1 month. Yeah, so in this case, we'll have a budget of 2,129, which is, so the goal of 10%. This would be the goals for the overall budget.
What's the 133° west?
The old budget.
The original budget or the last month?
Last month, the previous month.
So we would need
So we would,
to get the percentages.
yeah, the original is 2,000. The baseline is 2,394. It's there in line 7.
Line
That's the
7.
baseline.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
That's the baseline.
But we put that in the actual budget over here. Okay, this is the baseline, then we can calculate it out.
So this would meet the goal. 2,129 is lower than 2,155, which is the 10%
That's
goal.
11%.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that meets policy.
Yeah, this way meets policy.
So to do the 20%, we would actually have to do. We'd have to actually change people's pay rates and go into people's pops.
Yeah. I mean, given that this is 1 month only, because next month we would have already a 17% cut,
Why?
because the current month, I mean the 133 West month, it's 17% cut from the baseline. So if we didn't have this extra $375, we would only cut 3% for this month in order
Okay.
to
But we
get
need
to
to
the
get
20%.
25% though. So the next month we need to cut 8%.
8%. Yeah, exactly.
But hopefully we can get the nonprofit budget set up by then, and we don't have to worry about it as much.
Exactly. Yeah, that's the goal. But so I have a question. The decision makers, what do we want to include? Obviously an option. I mean, we want to include an option with not Angela deactivated from the budget, right? She's not communicating. Or should I try to communicate with her first?
Well, you have to try to communicate with her first. That's
Yeah.
required.
Yeah.
And she's not voting or anything?
No.
When was the last time that she voted?
2 budgets ago.
2 budgets ago. All right.
Yeah. So she didn't vote, only the last one.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to make a budget option with removing her, that's fine. But you do need to attempt to communicate with her. You can't just say, "Oh, she's not communicating," if you're not actively sending her messages and asking her for communication. And typically, like, what we would do is, if you were fully professional, we would send her a Discord message, we would send her an email, we would communicate her on Upwork, and we would call her whatever communication we had and try to contact her and figure out what's going on. So that would be the professional way to verify that someone's actually not communicating.
You want to send her a message on Upwork? And I send her Discord.
Not really. I mean, why don't we do Discord first, and then if that doesn't work, we can do Upwork if we want to, but
Yeah, I'm gonna do Discord first then.
And I would actually do an email before we do Upwork, but anyways.
Okay. Do you have the?
I always try to.
Do we have the email? Do we have
with
the email?
We should have everybody's email, but I don't know. We probably skipped that part of the onboarding process. in the
Yeah.
contact sheet.
The contact list.
But it's possible we just skip that.
Yeah, I will check.
So, anyways, this didn't look that complicated. I mean, we'll see how
No.
people feel about getting rid of the bonuses. But if everybody's okay with that, they all voted to give you this extra money. We all did. So it's like it seems like they would be fine voting to get rid of the bonuses for a month.
Yeah. Yeah, this way we could. I mean, this could be one option. Then we could have maybe. I don't know. I don't see any option we can do without deactivating somebody, right? So this is definitely the best option possible. So maybe
For me,
we
the person I voted the highest to remove from the budget was Moth.
yeah, I saw.
So, I mean, Moth is definitely like really low cost and everything, and he's definitely has a lot of potential, but he's not doing anything, and he's like doesn't really communicate very well. I have difficulty communicating with Moth. And he certainly is not scheduling much and doing much work with me, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's one thing, like, it's good that he's interested in accounting and all that stuff. Also, now that we're doing the Umbrella Showcase website, it's not as important to have, accountants and things like that. Or like official CPAs, because we are broadening out some, which I think will help us. But overall, it's like, it's just like, I mean, I don't care how many legal, documents and diplomas that someone has, if they are not communicating and they don't step up and not doing work, it's just like, it's just like, no, I don't care. Like all of these documents they have to say they're important, it's like, in the end, if you can't communicate, you can't like work as a team. Like, a lot of people, they go to school, they learn like unbelievable amounts of information, whether it's science and like engineering and like, all these different things, but they never learn how to actually work in teams. And they have no idea how to actually communicate and collaborate on anything. And they just are just completely dysfunctional when it comes to like what we need, So it's like, some ways that just doesn't matter how many PhDs you have. If you never learn how to work as a team, you're not going to be helpful.
Yeah, and he seems to have very very big problems in getting organized. I mean, yesterday he still didn't have the link for the team schedule. So I mean, he was asking me again for the team schedule to see at the end of the main session. So I said, look.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I feel like Moth does not meet the basic worker criteria. So we could easily basically tell him that he needs to stop working soon, right? Or just put him on probation or whatever he wanted to. I don't think we need to deal with that, but the only thing going for him is he ranks really high and his cost is so like small, so that is a big positive for him. So he probably will stay in the budget basically just because of that. But in the context of like, eventually, doesn't matter how little someone was asking for, not doing anything, it's not helpful. So I have no problem.
And it drags down the team as well.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. So I have no problem like basically
have an
continuing
option with Moth removed.
No.
That's it.
I mean, only if people want to remove him, but basically to continue to propose Moth to be removed from the budget month after month after month until either we remove him or we
or he steps up,
or we decide to keep him because he steps up. Yeah. But I think under our policy, especially with him ranking so high, there's no reason to propose a separate option to remove him because under our policies, he would not be the first person who's removed, right?
Right.
He's ranked too high. So in my mind, it's just a matter of the team deciding that we want to remove him from the budget because he's not meeting his basic criteria. For me, that's what it comes down to. So it's either if he doesn't meet the basic, so we need really just focus on his basic involvement criteria, and then the fact that he's not currently meeting it, so we would continue to propose him to be removed from the budget.
Okay.
His evaluation ranking could actually bring him down too. If we actually did full evaluations and did the whole ranking, that would actually bring him down as well.
Okay.
Yeah, but I think overall, I mean, a month has plenty of potential. For $150 a month, we're getting more than our money worth. You know.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. So I think we're good. I mean, we have Andromeda H3 in 27 minutes.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we should
yeah,
probably
that's gonna be
wrap it up here. Yeah.
So what is the schedule for that?
I'm opening right now. I think it's
client work.
I think it's either. I mean, I don't remember if it's Cobalt client work. So I'm checking this, or it's Andromeda.
Coordination and planning. Yeah.
Coordination. Yeah, client work. Oh no, Cobalt we have not. It's free today. Okay.
No, it's Andromeda Hour 3.
Andromeda 3 SVG client work. Yeah.
So this is really exciting. The coordination planning for the client work. I mean, this is something I've been talking about for so long, and we're finally gonna do it. Like it's like, and we can actually talk about the income and the budget and the actual UMCUS. All of that is just so important. So I'm really excited about that.
Yeah, let's make sure we also try to
problem.
Let's make sure we also try, if possible, to. I mean, this should be a very good time to get the statement of information for CLN.
Statement of information?
Yeah, we still need to do that. Remember the website was in maintenance? We have deadline 28th.
Yeah. Yeah, well, usually that would happen on Monday, but if we have a deadline, then yeah, prioritize that.
Monday, what day is Monday? So we have 24th, 25th, 26th. Monday's 27th. Yeah.
It'll be good. It should be fast. So we want to basically do.
Should be very fast.
Planning, like for trajectory planning and coordination, trajectory planning and coordination, as well as the CLN statement of info. And the problem I have is that I will only have basically 1.5 hours.
Okay.
I believe. So it's going to be, it starts at 2 and then 2, 3:30. Yeah, so I have an hour and a half. So I just don't have a lot of time.
Okay.
But yeah. But so let's start.
Okay.
Take a 20-minute break. We'll start again, and we will. I'm just gonna get some lunch and stuff, and then when just focus on trying to finish it at an hour after an hour and a half.
Perfect, Jay. Okay, I see you in 20 minutes then. 24 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.